Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about the laws impacting teaching and learning within schools. And today's policy I'll be covering is China's double reduction policy. What is the double reduction policy? The double reduction policy came into effect in July 2021 by China's Ministry of Education. Basically, they have like one board that controls all the education throughout the country. It's not like us where it's state by state. So the aim of the policy was basically to reduce the homework on students. Grades 1 through 6, no written homework, and grades 7 through 9, no, they would have a reduced amount of homework. And but what I mean, no homework and reduced, that means the schools outside of the school, like training schools, tutoring programs, they're not allowed to give homework because they had basically homework and then they had outside homework, which basically put a lot of stress on the students and also require tutoring companies to register their company as nonprofits. That means the prices had to go down to affordable rates, no more high prices. And basically, the overall goal was to encourage students' mental health because a lot of them are suffering from depression, anxiety, etc., from all the homework. Before the policy, let's go ahead and observe the world before. Basically, the everywhere you went, there was a training school. It was about the equivalent of a McDonald's. Every corner you went, McDonald's. Every corner you went here, training school. And not only that, since there were so many schools, a lot of them compete with prices. So this led to higher and higher expenses. Parents and students felt a great amount of pressure to pay for these extra classes so students could succeed in school because you have a number of kids studying outside the school. And if you weren't studying out in the school, just if you weren't studying outside, you basically couldn't keep up with your peers around you. And here it's a competing culture. So lower income parents felt that there was no way to be successful as they were priced out basically due to their income power. Because you have students that are taking all these advanced classes, and then your kid who cannot afford these classes. So basically, the teacher will just belittle you. Why can't you do it? Why can't you do it? Everyone else here can do it. So that's kind of what they were facing. And then when the China double reduction policy happened, this went into effect overnight. So schools literally closed down overnight. They were just gone. Like no joke. Like within the first week, I'd say 80% of the school outside training schools just disappeared. So that left a lot of teachers jobless, with a lot of the company holders basically just cutting their loss. Say, okay, well, we can't do this no more. Fire everybody. So this caused a lot of problems. Too many teachers, not enough jobs for the teachers. That was one effect. Parents lost their tuition fees at what they had paid. So they were paying not just like an average of $100. Some were paying thousands of dollars, like anywhere from the range from the usually 2,000 per semester to anywhere to 50 to 60,000 US dollars per semester, depending on what they were learning, like debate. And so you could see how expensive these classes were getting, and the schools just left. But some good things did come from it. Not all the training schools did shut down. Some did manage to basically become nonprofit. The after effects of the policy. Classes that were once seen as optional. So, for example, most kids would take Chinese and math outside, and then others they would take English and uh, science outside, just two different variations. Now, all these classes are in the school. So now parents feel the need to pay for every subject now. Now that it's in the school, the kids don't have to go anywhere. And so a lot of teachers only give half the lesson and they give the other half in the outside of tutorial of school, if that makes sense to you. So parents are feeling more pressure. The students are feeling more pressure because now they have class inside school and class after school. And keep in mind, these kids are finishing like at 9 o'clock at night, and they still have the school homework to do. So even though the schools were shut down, there's still quite a bit of them open, but they're raising their prices because they are still open, but it's illegal. And it's kind of basically a dirty secret here that all the education things are still open. The ones that are in the school, at least they're right there. My kid can go there, but you're dealing with bigger classes. So a lot of parents choose to these go to the smaller intuitions like mine, where the class size is small and they will charge more. I don't charge more because I just don't. I don't want to. But a number of them do charge ridiculous prices because, and they cite that, oh, this is illegal. We need to at least make money while we still can stay open. We don't know when we're going to get shut down. But basically, they're lying to the parents because no, the government doesn't really care about this as much anymore. So they're not really enforcing it. So So basically, my conclusion is a negative one. Parents face higher tuitions, more expenses. There's more pressure to see now that these classes are in the school rather than just outside and seen as optional. Now they're seen as required. And especially for first year cities where it is imperative to succeed, otherwise, you will not get a good job. That is literally the case here in China because there are, for every applicant job, there's like 50 applicants. So you could see the need to succeed here in the education sector where if I don't pay this, my kid won't do this. My kid doesn't get this class, da 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 da. It goes on and on and on. So basically a vicious circle. And so that is my view on the policy. It's not a very positive viewpoint on policy, but it seems to have made things worse for students and parents. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I'm trying to keep this under 6 minutes, so here are my resources. Thank you for your time.